Welcome back to Something for That Ass podcast. I'm Brooklyn.
And I'm Lena Love.
And this is our special guest.
We have a special guest, the homegirl.
And I'm Isene. Like I seen something for that ass.
Yeah.
I was literally telling Lena yesterday that it's crazy her name's Isene because she really oversees everything.
Intuition strong.
Yes. She does, or you can explain what you do because I want to tell them about the little party we just had.
Oh, so I have my own beauty business where I'm an esthetician. Eyelashes, waxing, brows, things like that. And then I started my new business venture, which is a Creative Drip. Follow us, Creative Drip with 2 P's. And how do I describe it?
It's like, you know, the bears that you, or can you actually hand us one of ours so I can show them?
Yeah.
We had a party yesterday. She came through, set everything up. It was so
much fun.
We
all
were
girls
smoking,
only,
drinking,
girls only party,
eating mushrooms.
Thank you. So
twerking.
This is the bear. Someone did this bear. Our homegirl, Zemi, did that one, and then Boo Sickle Pop did this one.
Hello Kitty.
This is a Hello Kitty piggy bank.
She had a Hello Kitty crib.
So cute.
Did she have this? You could do this, a smaller one, or you could do a Hello Kitty.
Yes. And I think we're going to bring in Labubus because everybody likes the Labubus.
I know, that's what the hype is right now.
Yeah.
Those are the ones with the face.
Yeah,
why does everyone like them? What do you think?
Personally, I'll be honest with you.
I don't know.
Mama, can you take them back?
They kind of creep me out, to be honest with you. But it's hype. Everybody,
trendy.
Yes,
everyone is loving them.
We're gonna have a bunch of Labubu Bears Hello Kitty parties.
Yes, I love that.
Can see
and we're
them.
mobile, so we'll go to you.
Yes,
she's mobile. That's the best part of it. Is like she'll literally come to you. We're gonna actually do one more party with her.
Super excited. It was so much fun
with a different group because I feel like it's best to do intimate groups of like.
Different groups.
Yeah. You can mix them all, but it could be kind of
catty.
Especially too with the painting. It's like more intimate. I think it's a little bit more fun
for sure
to have a smaller group.
Yeah. So
we're gonna break y'all apart. That didn't really come off right.
And we literally like, okay, so she has her own podcast.
Yes, at Herizon Podcast.
Okay, and sorry, we have the same podcast producer, and we had been seeing her stuff, and we're like, she's bomb. We're gonna follow her. We like her message. She's bomb. Then, she had an event, for her podcast, and we wanted to go because we were like, we need to know if she's as bomb in real life as she is on the internet. We were sweet. Pleasantly surprised. You exceeded our expectations. And if you're queasy, skip this part because I'm going to tell you guys something. So we met as our first time meeting.
And she's a doll. Like, we're listening to her talk and her message was really important. But I'm just looking at her like, oh my God,
like
she's alive. She looks like a doll.
Yes.
You guys are too much. You're making me blush.
If you're queasy, skip this part because this is how
this is how locked in we're in.
We were like destined to be locked in because this is what happened. So I told her, I'm like, I want to buy you an acai bowl. Like you put on such a cute little event. Now we need to do something for you. Okay, cool. We're chilling in the car for a second. And then we're about to go walk in to go eat some acai bowls.
Mm-hmm.
Is it acai or acai? I say acai.
I say acai.
Acai?
Acai.
I say acai.
And I'm on my period, but my periods are not normal, and I don't use tampons because they're not good for you. I mean, I will if I had to. I guess I should have in this situation, but I didn't. And I'm wearing a skirt. I'm wearing fuzzy boots. I'm wearing a crop top. It's just like a regular, day. And I'm walking, and I just feel like maybe 5 gallons of blood might have just got drained from my body. And it did. We're walking. I'm like, wait, you guys. And then I was like, I think I'm bleeding. And then like, no, it's okay. And then whoosh, not just like a little bit of blood, like like this, we're in broad daylight in a very public, busy
area.
Mm-hmm.
So I just stand up against the wall because what else am I supposed to do? she goes, gets some napkins. She's like chilling, like Lena's faded down though.
She brown.
I have like a literal bloodbath. It looks like a crime scene. It looks like First 48. There's chunks of blood on the floor. And mind you,
the front and the back.
Where the closest wall I can find was up against like a bunch of motorcycles. People are coming, taking pictures of the motorcycles. I'm like, literally.
That was a horrible scenario setup if we think about it now.
And I'm just looking at her and I'm like, sorry, but you know, at least we broke the ice. So
that just made our relationship strong off the bat.
Off the bat, I was like,
we were locked in. I was like, you can't get rid of me after this. Sorry.
You saw.
Yeah.
And we don't want to get
my body.
And then I under-delivered with the paper towels.
She brought back.
I got a dry and a wet one, and it was like this much, and then this much, but I wet it, so it's like this small. I'm like rubbing her legs. It's just not really working. I'm like, I need to go get the car. So just pulled up the car and just get in.
Yeah. It was actually crazy. Like that 15 minutes was actually crazy. I was like, wow, this would be happening right now, right here, broad daylight, busy as fuck.
Yeah. I tell her, I'm like, I feel like it's something when you get high because, you know, there's a heavy flow, but she'll have like a spurt that's heavier than a heavier flow. And I feel like
I just feel like flow is like the ugliest fucking word. Like
flow?
Could be, yeah.
Really?
I guess people's
You think that's better than clot?
Better than what?
Clot. Because she likes to say clot.
Well, but a flow is different than clots. Flow is just like ugly. Like it just sounds like, oh my,
go with
my
the
aunt,
flow.
My aunt
going with the flow.
I just call it Mother Nature. You know, she do what she do.
I don't know, but they were like the blood clots were like besides the chinchillas. Am I okay? But I'm here. So yeah, so that's just a little introduction of.
We're gonna get her on some herbs.
Yeah, hopefully it gets better from here. We'll keep you updated. Next period. Okay, so do you guys know this is usually about dating? This is usually about sex. That's what this podcast is usually about. So we're gonna ask you some questions because we like to be in people's business.
Okay,
and we know that you were in a 13-year relationship.
Sure was.
Okay, so my first question to you is because you were in a 13-year relationship and like being out the game for that long, going into it now, and just like how it is, just like, you know, men are certain type of way now. What do you feel about like the dating scene right now?
The dating, okay. So after leaving a 13-year relationship and, you know, being a little more mature, getting back out here it's a whole different ball game. Like, you know, the last time I was single was when I was, I think, 19. Now I'm older, more wiser, been through more shit. And being out here is ghetto. It's ghetto. It's ghetto out here, guys. And not only that, but, you know, I'm used to, I was, you know, fiance for a long time, 13 years, and I had my life, and that was my everything, my career, my family, him, and then to be back out here and start dating, it was something else. It's a game, honestly. And it was shocking because I was like, this is what I have to. I went from being like wifey to like this, and not only that, but how do I turn off wifey because I'm not wifey to these guys? You get me? So that was a learning. It's been a learning process, and I want to say it's been it's been a playful journey for sure. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
How did you turn off the wifey switch, or have you done it yet?
I have.
You have.
I have. I realized that I was very nice and very naive at the beginning, especially because, you know, obviously when they're reaching out, they've been in the game.
Yeah.
And I say game because it really is what it is. Okay.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not, it is. They're not. So they were always up higher, obviously a level than I wasn't, right? So it was I had to turn it off quick because I was like, how can I sit here and I can't give them the treatment that somebody special deserves?
Right. They're very undeserving.
So I had to learn to turn that off. And I hate saying playing the game, but it's literally
What you have to do to survive.
What you do. It's ghetto. You meet all sorts of characters out here. And it's a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah, you can either play or get played.
Right.
That's what you do.
That's how you turn the switch off.
And look, I'll be honest with you. I went from, being naive and like believing to then realizing like what it is. And there was a point where you play the game back and forth, but then I'm in a stage now where like I'm not trying to play no fucking games with you guys no more. Like I've been single going on 3 years. My first year was straight survival, but my second year is when I started dating, right? Or giving attention to what that is. And I didn't know what I was getting myself into. It was a whole new world, right? And it was a lot of fun. I say there's levels to leaving a long, serious relationship or just a relationship. Let's just say just a relationship. You're leaving a relationship. There's levels. And I want to call that my play season. And I think everybody has that. Like we all do. It's part of leaving a relationship where you're out having fun. You're getting to know what you attract or what you're attracted to. It's a learning season, So
yeah, I feel like instead of is it like the 3 stages of grief? It's like the 3 stages of relief.
Yeah, I like that. I like that for sure. Yeah, for sure. It is.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with all this lack of weight on my shoulders.
Right. That's someone breathing down my neck, checking my text.
Yeah,
right?
like, I don't have to tweak over my phone anymore.
Yeah,
I could put my phone away for 8 hours and feel amazing.
For sure.
No, I totally feel it with the like not knowing how to turn off the wife because I can be very serious. I bring this type of like, do we go together to a situationship that men absolutely hate. They're like, why are you so serious? Like I'm just trying to see what's in between your legs. I'm just trying to have fun. I'm trying to see where this goes. I don't want to see where this goes. Are you a man with a plan? If you're not a man with a plan, you need to exit. Left, right, either way it goes, get the fuck out of my face, Right. It is so hard because I was in a long-term relationship too. And when I became single, I was just like, I wasn't even aware because, people tell you stuff, you hear stories, but you don't really truly know until you live it and go through it yourself.
For sure.
So I'm hearing stories, people are telling me things, but my own experience, I'm like a guppy in the dating world, right? So I'm not even understanding to the extent that men will go to play in your face, essentially. Like they will say and do the most wildest, outlandish shit you could ever think of to get some pussy.
Yeah, they just don't. There's no.
They know no end to it.
No.
It's lights, camera, action for real.
Yes,
they're literally putting on a performance that is not real, and they're trying to live up to the expectation that they think you have of them. They're trying to live up to that, but that isn't them living in their authenticity there.
Yeah.
That's not who they are.
No. I love that. She said performance. It is a performance.
It is. And they're very performative. And that's why it could be really tricky, like texting a man, because you don't want to text too much because it's like, oh, you're just trying to like learn. You're trying to get the blueprint with me. You want to know what to say, what to do, how to act, how to come so you can get what you want, essentially, which is, I always say it's like climbing a mountain. Once they get to the top of the mountain, they have sex with you. They're like, okay, maybe I'll climb it again, but I'm not too pressed. I already know what's at the top of this mountain. So it's tough. Dating is really, really tough because they inspect, they analyze, and then they use it for ammo to try to...
Have you guys... Okay, let me ask you. Have you guys... Because, you have a podcast. Do you feel like men look at the podcast and try to read you off it, and then they come at you with that?
Yes.
I recently learned that.
I get that a lot.
I don't know if I manifested it, but I said it, and a week later it happened, right? And telling me everything I want to hear. But it's because they got it off my podcast. So now... But that needed to happen for me to understand... Like, these motherfuckers will go to any extent, literally, to tell you what you want to hear.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, I'm kind of glad that happened because now I'm aware of that. You get me?
Yes.
Because we're open, right? And we have this platform, they'll go and inspect and do a whole little history check and then they'll come back and give you exactly what you want to hear.
Yes, it's like the cheat code for them.
Yes.
Like, oh, I already basically conversating with her because I already know how she talks. I know how she thinks. I know what she expects. I know what she thinks is an ick. Like, it really is a cheat code. But I mean, I care about my podcast more than I care about any man. So I'm going to just keep doing the podcast.
Luckily, I feel like having a podcast, it's really helped wean out candidates because in my personal experience, I feel like a lot of men get scared.
Yeah.
Because I have such a bold opinion or
it's easier to weave them out for sure. Yeah.
Obviously a little mentally ill and not all the ways that they find attractive. So it has helped wean them out on my personal end. I feel
you know what it is that men don't like outspoken women like us. We talk too much and we have too much to say. And then because we're so strong about it, they are intimidated by that or they're turned off by that because it's like you talk too much. You're too aware. You get me? So I'm learning, how to weave them out myself because I know how they're coming now in different directions because there's so many different directions that they come from, right? And they approach you all differently because they're all different, right? But my intuition now, I'm more in tune with it. So I'm able to read it off now. And like she said, it makes it easy. There's good and bad, right? So it makes it easy for us to be able to, like, certain men, real confident men in their game will come approach and try, I would say. But for the most part, it does scare a lot of the men away, which is, to me, I used to think about that and I was like, damn, am I saying too much? So I would kind of hold back. But now that I'm walking in my purpose, I'm just like, you like me or you don't, I really don't care. This is what I have to say. I want a man that's confident in me. You get me? And secure. And let me be. Don't bring me down. Because I already had that.
Yes.
Right.
I definitely get a lot of like, oh, you're so strong and opinionated, queen. I love that. I think it's so cute. I'm like, okay. Like, it's a good way in because it's a good conversation starter.
For sure.
Do I believe it? No. And I always tell men, like, if you don't like opinionated women, I promise I'm not the woman for you because I'm going to question things. I'm going to share what I think about things. Like, I'm not someone. That's why I have a problem with like, oh, be my peace. Someone asking for me to be their peace seems so weird to me because you should already be at peace with yourself. You should already, I shouldn't have to provide that for you. And what like it sounds like if I'm reading in between the lines is that you want someone to take your shit, not question you, not have an opinion, like just, make life on easy mode for you. You should make that for yourself. And if you don't already have that for yourself, find a way to get it before you start dating and expecting someone to bring peace into your life. Why the fuck are you chaotic as fuck trying to ask me to bring peace? You can't even give that to yourself. Why would I give that to you?
She said you're chaotic as fuck, so why are you coming in my life?
A lot of men, they ask for peace and then they'll create chaos to test your boundaries. And it's like, babe, angels don't live in hell. I'm not about to be your peace. Like, come with it. And if you don't have it, you shouldn't be dating.
Yeah. Yeah, and don't be surprised why it's not magically appearing in front of you. Right. Do you even talk to God? Because you should actually just start there.
And who you date is a reflection of you. So if you date women that you don't consider to be your peace, you're probably not a peaceful man. You're probably not making a peaceful environment because, you are what you attract. And I know that's like, could be loosely said, but I do believe that anybody I've ever talked to, they mirror me in some way. I can acknowledge that.
For sure.
I can acknowledge that.
Me
so
too.
It's like, maybe we're not identical, but we're fraternal.
I think that there's like something where,
sorry.
She always asks me, what the fuck is it with him? That's like, what is it that I'm like? I'm like, like we're trying to dissect it.
What part? I feel like, during my dating scene, I attract the unhealed part of myself, unhealed parts of myself that, because I'm not opposed to dating. Like I actually, and I enjoy it sometimes. It's, it's cute to get dressed up and get wined and dine or whatever. But I learned it's kind of like how would I say it? It's a experiment to me. And that's going to sound so bad, but I learned something new about myself, and I learned something that I like or don't like.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I
So that's
love
why
that.
my thing is, I encourage women to date. Like, take your time. Don't get me wrong. Take your time to get to know who you are first, because you have to know who you are before you start dating, because if not, you're going to get lost. Okay. And after leaving a relationship, you have to think about it. You're not your best. You never been out here in this world like this. And you don't know who you are because you were attached to that person for whatever period of time. So you have to detach all that, and you have to relearn yourself at that stage in life. You get me? So my thing is, dating can be, it can be good because you get to know what you like, don't like, what you will tolerate, what you won't tolerate. And you get to see if you can read the flags. Does that make sense?
It's like a pop quiz.
It is a pop. Yes.
It is a pop quiz.
And you're meeting so many different types of personalities that you'll know who gives you the ick, what you're attracted to, what you want again. And sometimes you think like, oh, well, I want this, and that. And then when you have that, you're like, oh, never mind. You get what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong in dating. It's just be guarded, be careful, know to not go in and give it your all. And my thing, I think, going back to the wifey thing, right? I'm loyal. I was in a relationship for 13 years where I took a lot of different types of abuse. That's why I left, right? And when I fuck with you, I fuck with you. And I learned, it's kind of like what they say, you can't give all your attention to one. You have to, you gotta talk to different types. You can't just put what is that called? You put all your eggs
in one basket.
Exactly. And that's so true, because I remember thinking like, oh my God, I'm talking to this one guy and I'm going to just talk to him. And I feel like I'm cheating. It sounds so dumb because I'm talking to other guys, and I would prioritize that one guy and it wouldn't go anywhere. And then I was like, I got rid of everybody. For what?
No,
yeah.
You get me? So, but being single, it's, you ain't a hoe. Okay. You're single. You're able to mingle around and have different, forms of entertainment or,
other interests.
Other interests. Exactly.
No, 100%. 100%. I always tell women, if that man is not your husband, you're single. And if that man didn't ask you to be your girlfriend, if he didn't ask you to be his girlfriend, you're single.
Correct.
Why are you loyal and dedicated to someone that hasn't even asked you to be their girlfriend, let alone their wife, right? Like,
and that's how situationships start, where you get stuck with that person for a long time and you ain't got no title. You ain't got no exclusivity. You ain't got nothing. And so you put all your eggs in one basket and you got stuck there.
And it don't pay off. It does not pay off.
And I'm sorry, but if you are in a situationship, you are in 2025.
Thank you.
You're like actually need professional help. You actually need to check yourself in somewhere that has padded walls. You need to, I don't know, do a detail, like a situationship in 2025. Fuck no.
I'm sorry, ladies.
No.
Look,
want more for yourself.
Look, we're in like she said, we're in 2025. Okay, let's be realistic here. There's no reason why you should be stuck with somebody that's not giving you a title. Okay, you're doing girlfriend shit, right? Or you're going over, or y'all going on little dates, or he's giving you the bare minimum bullshit, and to you consider that like, oh my God, there's potential here, and 5 years down the road, there ain't nothing. Or you got a situationship that you've been going on for over a year, 2 years. You're wasting your time, to be honest.
You're wasting time
because you're wasting time.
A man,
you're wasting your youth. Okay.
Yes.
And
you don't get that back.
It's not it. You can see the signs while dealing with that person. The red flags are there. You're just choosing to look over it because you like their company or you like their sex. Either way, not enough.
I mean, it's definitely, in my opinion, a coping mechanism.
Oh,
like,
100%.
I could just have
100%.
sex. And, it's like, no, you're not sexually disciplined enough to not have sex with this man. Mm-hmm. And you have an attachment to this man. And that's why you're not cutting him off. It's not because you don't care to be, in a relationship or wifed up or whatever it is. It's just a coping mechanism. And I always say, this is going to lead to my next question, but I always say, if you don't have a man's baby, you are only attached to that man as you want to be.
Correct.
Because without a child, you really don't have any reason to be in contact with a man that's undeserving of you. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of women hold on because they're like, oh, well, you know, we spent a lot of time together. Okay, you spent a lot of time together. That might be true, but you're also wasting your time, right? If a man knows what he wants off that. Like
they do.
The man knows what he wants, and he's not going to play about what he wants. And a man will never leave you out in the streets if he wants you to be his for you to get snatched up by another man. He just would not do that. Correct. So if you're out here dealing with a man that you want a committed relationship from, or you want something, you know, more than what you're getting, and you're just like, you know, hoping, praying that it's going to be different, and you don't have kids, I mean,
you got to get out. I'm sorry. You got to get out.
They say potential is what you would do in their shoes. It's not reality. Mm-hmm. So whatever potential you see in this man, it doesn't exist.
Not
simply. He's never going to become what you want him to be just because you want him to be that way. No, that's just what you would do if you were in his shoes.
That's an illusion that you've created of a fairy tale of what you want it to be. Mm-hmm. But it's not really reality. Mm-hmm. So we're in reality. You got to look at what's happening, how he's treating you now, not in the illusion that you've created.
I'm taking these fucking goggles off your face.
Take them glasses off.
No, yeah.
Take them off.
That's why rose tinted shit.
I always encourage women to date without having sex, because if you're a woman that over romanticizes everything, you're going to think it's way more than what it is. Yeah. And if a man's not like courting you properly, getting you flowers, you know, taking you on dates, taking you out in public, it's probably more than likely because he doesn't want you to get the wrong idea. He wants you to know your place in his life.
He's already telling her what she's going to be in his life
without saying
it. Yes. And that's where we go back to actions over words. So from the get-go, if he's already showing you what you're going to be in his life, he's not telling you. Get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's your first cue. That's your first flag.
Because men are men of their actions. Their words, they're just using that for survival to get what they want.
Well said.
So I was going to say, so with saying, you know, if you don't have a child with a man, you're only attached as you want to be, what would you tell women? Because you have 2 kids.
I have 2 kids.
So it's not as easy for you to just...
No, because, you know, we have the family dynamic of you want to have both parents there for your children. You don't ever want to wish your children broken home, right? And that's another reason why I stayed there longer than I should have, right? If you don't have any attachment, it's very well what you said. Why are we there? Why are you wasting emotion? Why are you getting treated, being disrespected? Why are you being devalued even more? Why are you questioning if you're good enough or not good enough? There's no reason why you should be there at that point. You don't have no attachments. You get me? And even now, I'm stuck with this person until my kids are 18 or maybe who knows how long, you get me? So you don't want that heaviness either. Not only are you carrying, you know, you're sharing your children, but you're carrying the weight of that person, even if they're in their life or not in their life. You're attached.
You're attached.
You're attached.
And women need to just start practicing free will. Like, you guys act like you're, you know, literally like handcuffed to this man. Put some coconut oil, slip out.
And look, another thing is, for all y'all that think that a man will keep a baby, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
No, a baby will keep a man.
A baby will keep a man. Yes, I'm sorry. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Okay, because you're actually bringing a child into something that they have no reason to be here because of your selfishness, thinking that you can keep a man by having their child. And not only that, but that man might even be resentful towards you and the child because they probably didn't want that. You get me? So I don't think a lot of women think that. I think that, oh, well, if I have his kid, he has to be here and I'm stuck with him forever. Yeah, but do you understand the mistreatment that you're going to get? Because he probably didn't want you and he didn't want you to be his baby mama. And not only that, but you're also doing a disfavor to that baby because that baby might not, I mean, if the guy's, you know, decent and he was brought up well, he'll be a father. But I've actually asked men this question, and I remember speaking to one specifically, and I asked him, are you did you want the baby? And he was like, no, and I remember asking him, do you resent your baby mama for giving you a child? And he's like, yeah, because I didn't, but he also felt some way towards the child. Do you get what I'm saying? So it carries on to the child. And I think a lot of women don't think about that. But you having that child to lock that man up is actually also creating resentment towards that innocent child because he didn't want that to begin with. Do you get what I'm saying? And that creates just unhealthy parenting and unhealthy relationships.
It's a disadvantage from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Even if he is present, I feel like in most scenarios like that, they're absent. So they might be there physically, but they're absent as a father, and they don't feel the attachment towards the child.
For sure.
9 times out of 10, and that's being very generous.
Yeah.
I have a question. So, is there anything that you feel like you are excited to teach your daughters that you might have not learned? Because personally, me, I feel like I grew up not having any boundaries. It is so hard to curate boundaries from scratch, because especially being a people pleaser, I'm always worried about other people's wants. Saying the word no was a very hard word for me to master, and it has been such a journey curating my boundaries from scratch, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. I mean, this is my own personal path, but I know one of the very first things I'm going to teach my daughter, if God willing, I have a daughter, I want to teach her boundaries, because it would just make not just dating way more simple and get you away from those very low quality experiences that you in reality don't have to deal with if you do learn those boundaries.
Right.
Like, yeah, I just would really want that for her. So.
Yes. So currently we are working on learning to say no, and learning the way that I teach my children is you can say anything that you want. It's just your tone of and the way you deliver it and your choice of words. So you can communicate and tell me absolutely anything. You can tell, but it's how you deliver it to me, your tone of voice and your choice of words. I'm not going to hear you if you're not talking to me correctly. So that's number one, because you have to be able to communicate. It doesn't matter. Think about it. Business, family, friendships, relationship. What's the number one thing is communication, right? And if you can't have clear communication as to how you're feeling, which you're expressing your feelings, right? That's another thing, is feeling it and learning that you have emotions outside of just one. Because I was brought up through my healing, I've learned, and I'm happy that I have girls because I can share this with them, is my number one emotion or feeling is anger. And that was a coping mechanism that I learned because I didn't know anything else. So I'm teaching my children, feel what you're feeling. What is that emotion? Communicate whenever you're ready. But for sure is boundaries. For sure. Because even at my age, I barely learned what boundaries was when I left my ex. And I realized that I didn't have no boundaries. That's why everything that I went through because I allowed all that. And it's true what they say. The man will go as far as a woman allows it. Do you understand that? Allows it. A woman is the one that holds the power at all times. So if you say no, it's no. There's no trying to please somebody. So stick to your boundaries. We hold the power. Do you understand? We have we have such a gift where we're able to give life. Do you understand that? Like, I don't think women understand that because we're so caught up in this whole baby mama, baby daddy type of like, and you just fucking have kids, right? But no, it's special. Okay. And that's why I love what you guys say, like, refrain from sex. And it's true because this is powerful. Just how you say no, it's you hold the power. Do you understand that? You hold the power. So when you give this up, not only are you creating life, but you're also getting every sort of energy. I truly believe in that anyone that they've messed around with, they bring that into you. So now you're allowing all sorts of energies into all sorts of like, not including other things, but
just energy
overall. And that this is sacred and you got to take care of it. You get me? And you have to nurture and love it and understand that it holds power. Huge power. You're able to give a life. Okay. You birth men and women So understand how powerful that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, women hate when I say, when I tell them to keep their legs closed, but I truly mean like guard what's in between your legs with your literal fucking life, because men will do anything to fucking get it. And take that however you guys want to take it. Like, you could literally get anything you want in this world because men will do anything to get it. So why wouldn't you use that to your advantage? Why are you just laying down with an undeserving man, one, for free, and two, like, even besides that, even say like, take like, oh, you're so in love and all that. Like, you could be in love with someone and you could feel a way about someone, but how are they making you feel about yourself? Right? Like, do they make you feel good about yourself? Because a lot of women lay down with men that they are sitting there after sex and they're like, oh, okay, like, does this man fucking hate me?
Yeah, he won't.
Did he just get post-nut clarity? Like, what's going on? Why does this man not want to touch me? Why is he making me feel like, you know?
No, but okay, think about that feeling after, right? I think they should think about that feeling after. How does that feel? Do you like that? Like, do you like to
I think it's a familiar feeling.
My thing is, like, do you like to be treated like a piece of me? Like, it is what it is, thanks. And then you're just laying there. And like, how uncomfortable and how degrading does that feel? Be honest. And like, I think during sex, like, because it's like, you're there, the experience. You have to trust your intuition. If you are feeling empty inside after sex, it's probably, and you're feeling depleted after sex, it's because a man is taking, and he doesn't have any intention of giving back and making you the receiver. Like, even during sex as well, it's like, if a man is just trying to get his and he's not touching you, there's no foreplay, there's no, nothing,
cuddling, there's no just caressing the body, nothing. It's like, you're there. You need to trust. You're just an object at that point. How that man feels about you. It's clear as day. How a man lays down with you is clear as day how he feels about you.
For sure.
Yes. Like, and that's so true. Like, how a man prioritizes your orgasm and your pleasure says a lot about the man. Even if he were to not value you on his dream girl level, he should still be treating you with top quality treatment. He should still be prioritizing your orgasm. He should still be coming through with that aftercare, which is snacks, cuddles, and conversation. You need to come through with that regardless of how you feel about the woman. If you're willing to do an intimate act like laying down with somebody, it's only the decent fucking thing to do. And I feel like if a man's not doing that, you're not a real man.
Period. But my thing, okay, you said women get mad when you say that. To me, it's just baffling how women can sit here and be upset at another woman that's encouraging them to protect their it's a treasure. You're a goddess at that point. You're a goddess in the sense that God gave you the gift to give birth and have life, right? Mm-hmm. So I can't believe that they get mad at other women for preaching that. And I see that in the comments. Like, I'll look at your comments and I'm like, you must really not like yourself if you sit here and have to comment on this podcast, because I think you're missing the big picture, right? Like, I think I saw one where it was like, or you guys said they need to come with gifts, right? Mm-hmm. And on that one, I was reading the comments and I'm like, people really are upset at the bare minimum. Mm-hmm. That's the bare minimum. We're going back in time, okay? Back in the day, men used to do all sorts of things for women and court them and all sorts. And now, because I think this new generation, also women chase men too, from what I've seen, they've made it less. It's not normal to be traditional. It's more like an offense. Mm-hmm. And my thing is like, I consider myself what I like to call traditional modern, right? Where I still have some traditional values and I know my role as a woman and my role in a relationship. But at the same time, I do enjoy, I work, I have my own thing going on. I like my freedom, things like that. So I'm not your typical stay-at-home wife, and I don't think I could ever be, because I do like my own freedom as far as financial and friendships, things like that. I like to have my own life outside of my relationship, right? So that's why I consider traditional modern. But I also have some old values that I bring in, and I know my place as a woman when I'm in a relationship. You get me? But I think that a lot of women nowadays don't take the time to listen, and what I'm getting out of the comments is projection.
Oh, 100%. No, women are so brainwashed into like thinking that men have really brainwashed women into thinking that friends with benefits is a real thing. No, friends with benefits, the only benefit you get as a woman if you're dealing with a man sexually as just friends is if he's financially compensating you, and take it however you want. But if you're just getting fucked by a man that's not willing to make you his girlfriend and wife, you're being used. And I don't give a fuck how you want to say, oh, I have needs or what. Okay, charge that rose and get to work. Because I promise you, laying down with a man that is not investing in you, that does not care to see you elevate in life, doesn't care about anything other than, you know, what do you have to offer me? And is it hot and ready? Like right now, you guys are so, I don't care. Like it's this, you know what it is? Like a lot of women are like on this feminist thing. I know a lot of people think I'm a feminist and I hate men and all this. And, you know, you gotta let people think what they want. And that's fine. If you really know me, though, you might have to search a few like episodes back. You would know my stance on that. But I'm sorry, like women back in the day, they were not just laying down for men. There was always a reason. There was always a purpose. Yeah. You're either a family or you're getting paid.
Yeah.
Let's get back to that because it's getting kind of crazy. There's so much STDs going around. There's so many unnecessary pregnancies going around. You guys are having babies to keep men that don't want to be kept, bringing children into this world that don't want to be here, that you're not even giving a fair chance to because you had sex with the most insufferable, broke, dusty man that gave you attention. Like, really, like, let's collectively do better as women so men have to collectively do better as men.
Okay, and to add to that, my whole thing is like, do you guys understand that we get the shitty end of the stick when it comes down to that?
Exactly. That's
the men get pleased. Yes. Okay, because you know they're going to get theirs off. Easily. And
2 minutes.
They probably don't know what to do. You know?
They're
and
scared of the pussy. They're scared of it.
They're not, like she said, they're not, they're not heating you up. They're not doing it properly. They're just worried about their needs. And not only that, let's say an accident happens, right? Who has to take care of it? The woman. He don't got to worry about it. And well, you're gonna text, hey, you know what? Can you send me money? But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is you're putting yourself through situations and things that you do not need to put yourself in for what type of pleasure? Mm-hmm. What type of love, emotion, or security are they giving or providing?
Yes. Yeah. And no amount of money is enough money to take care of a child by yourself.
No.
It's so fucking hard.
I'm a mom of two. I'm a single mom of two. Okay. And I hold all the responsibility. And it's no joke, especially because I'm used to providing a certain lifestyle for my children. So now doing it on my own is way harder. And it's obviously, I left something that was not healthy for me. And I don't regret that at all. But it's not easy. Mm-hmm. And I'm out here struggling with my children, rebuilding myself back up, right? And there's a lot of things I got to say no to compared to what, I'm used to. So that mom guilt doesn't go away. On top of already having the mom guilt of you're not there all the time because you're working, or like, sorry, your dad's not in the picture, like things like that. Mm-hmm. You get me? So I think women need to really sit down and think before they go and just give it to people, anybody,
Because the saying is it takes a village to raise a child.
100%. And I would not be able to do it without my family. Yeah.
I mean,
and my family, and think about it. Your family should not be responsible for what you went and did. You get me? But I thank God, my family's been there for me, but I can't picture my mom did it without any community. And
you're not meant to.
No, you get me? So think about all that stuff. Think about your suffering, and your suffering is going to lead to their suffering because you're trying to make it by yourself, but you also have these babies that, you brought into this world. And I don't want to say it's by mistake. Some of them, were by mistake. Some of them were probably not. But at the end of the day, the woman has to put all the work, not as much as a man.
No. Yeah. And you really need to think what kind of community you want, because you're going to have one regardless. Mm-hmm. Sometimes your family, your blood relatives aren't what you consider family. You can create community in every way. So you can create your own family, literally and figuratively. And you also can create a beautiful life for your child to your best abilities. I mean, things can always happen, but that man, you're trying to get pregnant just to keep him. Like, he's probably not going to be there, and he's not going to be a great member of the community.
And you're just gonna have a baby daddy. Like, that's not a flex. Sorry. And you're gonna just be their baby mama, even though you're probably not a baby mama. You're a baby mother. Yeah, but like, no.
Like, he's trying to BM you. So
yeah,
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I'm only gonna say, I just have one little shout out I want to give you if you don't have anything else like to ask her or anything.
I do.
You do? Oh, you go first. You go.
Oh, okay. So we got to talk. It was during your event, her Herizon podcast events we showed up to. She had briefly went over female friendships.
Yes.
When you're in a relationship, and something that I experienced when I was in a relationship that I know a lot of women go through is you completely prioritize your man when you're in a relationship, and you let all your female friendships wash away. Personally, in my scenario, I wasn't, quote, allowed to even have girl friendships. So I allowed him to dictate who was in my life, and that included girlfriends and family. And that just really inspires me for my next relationship. Like, you don't get to come in between that, because experiencing life without prioritizing my family or my girlfriendships, it completely switches up your mentality. I don't ever want to be that low again. Women really need to prioritize having girlfriends in their life, because those are your sisters and we need each other. Fuck that. Don't ever let a man isolate you from your girlfriends. And even if he isn't trying to isolate you from your girlfriends, you know, you can have your little honeymoon phase where you're all obsessed with him and you just want it to be you two, but you need to bounce back into prioritizing time for yourself, your work, your family, and your girlfriendships. And then you guys, not in that order, but you need to have those separate parts of your life. You can't just completely devote yourself to that man.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And the reason why I agree is because I kind of went similar to that. It wasn't that he was dictating, right? But I already knew it was going to be an issue. So I rather not have friends and deal with the issue, and just basically they isolate you. So it's easier for you to get manipulated when you're isolated, right? As opposed to you having friendships, having a community that you don't have to sit here and tell everybody your business, right? But you have to have certain types of friendships. And I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for me, I went 13 years without having friendships. I had friendships at work, right? Because I work with women. But actual real relationships outside, I got to meet a lot of amazing women. You get me? And now I've built a community. But I've also got to learn the good and bad parts of having friendships, because there's certain friends that are not, how would I say, very healthy. Yeah. So
right.
Definitely prioritize yourself. Okay. Prioritize your family. I have an amazing relationship with my family. As to before, I didn't speak to them. I didn't go over. I didn't want to. It was always in a rush. Like, it was just, uncomfortable. It was just a lot. And now I have an amazing relationship with my family. I have, we work on it every day. And then I have beautiful, amazing women in my life that I can rely on. And you know who you can and can't trust. You get me? So I have different groups of friends. And then I have those solid ones that I'm able to like run to and speak to. And if it wasn't for that, I think that helps along with my healing.
Yes.
Because let's be honest, at the end of the day, if you and him don't work out, right? Who's there to pick up the pieces?
No, literally.
Your friends. Your friends are there to help you. Your friends are there to, let's pick you up. Let's go, whatever it is, right? So I realized that having a community, and that includes really good friendships, okay, it's a big deal in your life. Prioritizing a man can kind of be, it's not healthy.
No. Yeah. And my women friendships have not just helped heal me, they quite literally saved my life. Because if I didn't have the influence of a female friendship pouring love and life into me, I might not be sitting here right now, for real.
I love that.
They're way more important.
If you have a good...
You gotta put some respect on their name.
Oh, for sure. If you have good friendships, you will heal a lot faster, to be honest with you.
And you'll just not make as horrible as this.
Yeah, because you'll be able to see, they pick up on things that you might not see because you're in the situation.
Correct.
It's kind of like
glasses on, you know?
Yeah, it's like kind of being like a counselor or therapist. I mean, they shouldn't always have that role, but naturally you're gonna have that role as a woman.
But if your friend cares about you, she's gonna tell you how it is. It's up to you if you want to listen to it or not. But at least they put that little seed of thought where you're just like, maybe I didn't see that, and maybe you'll start to see it. Because I do remember thinking to myself, I remember having friends that were like, why didn't you talk to me about what you were going through? Because I literally went through all of that by myself. Not even, like, my family had an idea, but they didn't know how bad it was. And I was like, well, it's not, one, I was embarrassed, and then two, it's kind of like, well, it's my business, you know?
Yeah.
But they're like, you know, sometimes, and they told me the same thing that you said right now. Sometimes you don't see what other people see, and it's good to have that. And it doesn't mean go and tell the world your business, but it's good to have somebody to confide in. And, you know, things are tough. I don't know what to do. You get me? And sometimes you know, I am the type tough love where, like, I'm gonna tell you how it is in the most loving, respectful way. And if you listen to that, cool. If you don't, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, but like, at least I know that I care about you, and I spoke to you about what I saw, you know?
Yeah.
But you know who you can and can't do that with.
Right. No, that is important.
For sure.
Because there's going to be some women that are not susceptible to what you have to say, or they get defensive. There's no point. But
Yeah. And men know, too, like, how important, like, a woman having female friendships is, because men, like, really insecure men, they don't want you to have friends. They don't want you to spend time. They don't want you to open up. They don't want you to explain what's going on in a relationship, because then everyone's going to be like, what the fuck? That's not right. Like, that's absolutely not right. You need to,
they'll be sitting here and tell you, like, why are you telling her that? Like, why did she, you know, it's none of her business. But it's kind of like, the friends come from a good place, as opposed to you just want to blind me from the reality of the situation.
Gaslight and manipulate.
Correct.
Yes. Sorry, guys. I was choking earlier, and
you over here.
I was
dying, and we're over here just like,
yeah, just girls, you know. No, the last thing I wanted to say to you was that I just, like, really respect everything you got going on, especially the way you deal with motherhood. I think, you know, obviously everyone wants to keep their family together. You want to try to stick out for as long as possible. But I promise you, when your girls get older, they're going to look back one day and think, wow, my mom really got up and she left, and, you know, she stood on business and she made shit happen. And that's going to be the thing that they remember the most.
Oh, for sure. And I can tell you that I see that already. You know, because my daughters did have they did have resentment towards me, in the sense that not that I put them in a place, but I didn't protect them either, or keep them safe. And it's not that they didn't know that I wasn't trying, you get me? But it's kind of like, I'm their mom, and I'm supposed to, you know, just like that's their dad, and he's not supposed to do certain things. I also didn't protect them because I myself couldn't protect myself. Therefore, you get me? So I've had to rebuild that relationship with my daughters, where I've had to earn that love and that respect. And I've had to earn the fact that you are safe with me. You get me? And I will protect you, and I will. And I've done my apologies, you know, I have them in therapy and things like that. So it's been a lot, and I worked a lot on creating that safe space for them and that safe relationship, because, you know, we came from a very abusive home, and they saw a lot that they shouldn't have seen. And sometimes I think that us women thinking that we're staying there to keep the family is a good thing. But to be honest with you, you're damaging your children. And I'll be honest so transparent with that, because it's actually cost them more damage me staying and them witnessing all that, because I couldn't keep them away from it either. It was just that explosive, right? And chaotic. And it was traumatizing. So now not only do I have to rewire myself and heal myself and my traumas, but I also have to do it to them. You get me? So I think women need to see that staying there for the family dynamic, it's not healthy. You're taking so much, and they're seeing that. And not only that, I'm raising 2 little future women. I don't want them to take that type of treatment and think that it's okay. And I remember after seeing, through the time, I saw that they would see little things and they would think it was okay. And I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. But because I stayed there, try to keep that family dynamic, they thought it was okay and it was normal. You get me? So you're creating normal where there's chaos, and it shouldn't be normal, and it's unhealthy. And they're growing up to think that that's okay when it's not.
Yeah. Because 9.5 out of 10 times, you're going to become the spitting image of your mother.
100%.
So if you are a mother and you have daughters, you need to be a woman, and you need to be a respectable woman, and you need to understand that you are being watched at all time, and not just watched, but you're going to be mimicked, and you're going to be the literal blueprint for how they entered the dating world, how they enter the work field, how they enter anything. So if you're a woman that has daughters, you need to be in the gym, you need to have a good job, you need to, have your shit together, because they're literally gonna be copy and paste of you.
Oh, for sure. I see that in my children already. Like the time that I've had alone with them since I left my relationship and building, I see that they're becoming little me's. Like my oldest one is going into the beauty industry. She does nails. And I already see her drive. I see her ambition. I see that I'm rubbing off on her, and they do look up to me. And not only that, but my household is mainly women. I have my brothers too, but they look towards the women. So they're coming from a very strong, independent home, which I think that comes because we need independence, right? We have to feed ourselves, take care of ourselves. And the strong comes from life just throwing things at you and you overcoming them. So that's a given. But they also see how, like, all the obstacles that we've overcome as women. And I see the transition already, so I can't wait for the future, because I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot like me. And you know how there's no handbook for parenting? We're learning along the way. Well, we are their handbook as to what life and how parenting should be, right? So why not try to give them the best image? At the end of the day, I remember one time my daughter was like, well, I didn't ask you to bring me in this world. And I was like, you're right. So it's my responsibility to make sure that I raise you to be better than me, because I don't want you to go through the mistakes that I've gone through. I don't want you to go through everything that I've gone through. I made them. Now I can teach you not to go through that. Of course, it's a given that our children are going to do, they're going to have their own lives and they're going to have their own struggles. But at least I know that I'm trying my best to make sure that they will make the right decision when things like that happen to them.
You heard it here first. So get your fucking shit together.
Get your shit together.
That's beautiful.
Get your shit together, and let's be better women. Let's be better mothers. For the ones that are not mothers, don't become a mother just because of a moment of pleasure. Honestly, it's not worth it. Your life will change. And I love the reels. What is it? It's an insult to say that.
That I'm a BM. It's hate speech.
Yes.
It's hate speech.
Yes. And
you hate
and
me.
Some girls think it's flattering, like, oh my God, but he wants me to be his baby mother. Girl, do you know the definition to that? Do you know what comes with that? So it's not flattery. It's just, it's not, don't be a baby mama. It's ghetto.
Don't be a baby mom. It's literally saying, I want you to be the mother of my children. You just read between the lines. Do you want to be in this cult? Do you want to be brainwashed?
He wants you to procreate and have his children, but does he want to be a daddy?
Yeah.
Does he want to be
not just
a
daddy, but is he going to be a safety space? Is he going to be emotionally there for the child? Is he going to sit here and provide? There's so much to being a baby father. Baby daddy and baby mamas are just the bear of the bear. That means that you are able to have children. That's what that means. But to be a baby mother and to be a baby father, okay, that's a different level. That comes with so much responsibility that a lot of these young women, or, because I was young too. You get me? I was young. I had 2 kids, but my kids, this is the person that I thought I was going to spend, the rest of my life with. It didn't go that way. But what I'm saying is, like, if you're looking at the flags and and they're already showing you by action who they are and where they're putting you in the category, and they're not treating you how they should be treating you, don't go and give them a child thinking that that's going to change it. Right. And not only that, but like you said, walk away. You don't have an attachment, baby. Next one.
Let's
go.
You went my husband way. You went my husband motherfucking way.
And you are going to have to go through a few little frogs to,
some toes.
Kiss the prince.
Yeah, for sure. I know that I will find, not find. My man will find me when the time is right. But until then, I'm not in a rush. And,
and until then, stop carrying on the legacy for bums. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
We love you
so much.
We really love you.
We love her so much.
We love you.
She's honestly the best.
Yeah. Give me your hand down there because we have to slap out. Bye. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.